Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. I'm very excited today because I actually wasn't expecting to do a video today. I've had builders in. I put a post up on YouTube to say no videos this week, builder in, but actually the guy that we had in was amazing, finished 2 days ahead of schedule, which means I'm now able to film a video without banging and clanging in the background. Also, at time of recording this video, we are 33 subscribers away from 1,000. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, all of you who have been here for ages. It really does make a massive difference. If you haven't seen the video for the giveaway, I'll leave a link just up here. But just a quick reminder, these are the items from Stabilo, which are in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So we've got our lovely sharpener here. We've got the Pen 68 brush pens, have a Sea Whites of Brighton pad that I put in there myself, and we've also got the Stabilo Carbothello, which in that video I said I'm really looking forward to testing some of these out myself, and I've now been sent this set for myself, so I will be doing a review on those very, very soon, perhaps to coincide with the 1,000 mark, so that whoever gets these supplies can see what they look like before they get them. Okay, so because this video wasn't planned, I kind of am winging this a little bit. So I've spent the last few days working on some large canvas pieces for the launch of the new Etsy store, which yes, is coming very soon and I'm very excited for. So I thought I've been painting some large canvases. Why not do a miniature master study? We haven't done one of these for ages. And if you haven't seen them before, it's essentially where I take an existing masterpiece and I replicate it on one of these tiny canvases. These are, where's my ruler? It's here somewhere, I just had it. These are approximately 7 by 5 centimeters. They are tiny, tiny. I have a few others that we've done here. We've got the Scream that we did previously. We've got Starry Night. I've also got here this portrait, which I think is Adam Westerberg, I want to say. But yeah, we've got a few of those. So today, I thought we'd go really mega famous for our painting. It's one of the top 10 masterpieces of all time. It is Vermeer's I nearly said the pearl with the girl earring. The girl with the pearl earring. So I've got it set up on my iPad. I've got my canvas ready. I'm going to talk you through using one of these proportional measuring devices for those of you that haven't seen these videos before. It's a really nice little introduction to these. But let me get set up. I'll turn the camera around and we will get stuck into today's video. Okay, so here we are. We've got our tiny canvas. We've got a proportional measuring device. And we've got so this is just a coloured pencil. What is this? Stedler Norris Club. So some pencils that I've had for ages and ages and ages. So I use these for under sketching on these small canvases. And then we've got our piece that we're replicated. So the girl with the pearl earring, not the pearl with the girl earring. So what I've done here, so this proportional measuring device, you can see as you open it up, it has two ends. It has a small end and it has a large end. So these are great for taking something and transferring it, but also changing the scale. So for instance, if you were to put this pin in the middle, it would be equal on both sides, so you could transfer like for like across. So what I've done here is I've set this so that this small side, if I judge the width of this piece here, like that, and now this is set so that this is what I need the width of this painting to be. So I brought this over into Procreate, and I've measured it up, and actually I can see that's slightly off. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so now I can make this a little bit smaller, and now that proportionally is the same. They match. Unfortunately with this, because I've got a preset canvas size on this and we've got the preset canvas size here. It's slightly too big, so she's going to have a little bit extra space on top, but I'm not too mad about that. What I'm trying to do here is get an accurate representation of this onto here. So the idea of these master studies is to learn something from the artists that you are studying. So this is a great picture to study value. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing here today. So all I'm going to do is take my pencil, I'm going to come down here and measure from the edge of the canvas to the edge of her dress there, and now I've got an accurate representation of what that is here, and I'm just going to put a mark. I'm going to do the same on this side, so we've actually got this line that comes down the back, and replicate that over here. That's a very small section. I'm just going to go along and I'm going to plot out points from this picture onto this canvas, and then I can use those to do my undersketch. So we're going to do a bit of a time lapse whilst I do some of these points. Okay, so it doesn't look like much. I mean, it's literally just dots on a canvas. But I'm at the point now where I'm starting to get some reference points so I can start to sketch this out. So I'm going to take a few minutes, turn the camera off because it's detailed work and I'm going to have to concentrate and the camera is currently in the way. So I'm going to sketch this out and I'll come back to you when I've got a rough sketch ready to paint. Okay, so this is where we kind of are now, which probably looks very rough and sketchy to you. It looks very rough and sketchy to me as well, but it kind of gives me the information that I need. So for instance, if we look at the main picture, it's actually quite handy having it blurred down here. You can see this shadow shape on the side of the face just here. So I've marked that in as well, because as I said, I'm kind of studying value with this one. You also see how much taller it is as well. But I'm going to set myself up, I'm going to get some paints out, I'm going to get my brushes out, get some water, and we are going to crack on with this and paint it up. And I'll show you what I use when I'm all set up. Well, before we get started, I suppose I should show you our setup. So you might notice we are no longer flat on the desk. This is actually just an old laptop stand, and I have blue tacked this, or white tacked actually, but I tacked this to here so I've got it nice and upright and it's easy to see. So I've also got some tearaway paper palettes down here, and a bunch of tiny paint brushes here that I've collected over the years, some water, which has also got tea on it because I spilled tea, which brings me to the most important art supply, of course, a cup of tea. If you're making art without a cup of tea, are you even making art? And then finally we have our Liquitex paints. So I usually use the cheapest cheap paints I can find, but I have been using these paints to do some canvases for the new store, and they're already out, so I thought, why rummage around in drawers looking for other paints when I've got these ones right here? So that is what we're going to be using today. So I am going to zoom in, make sure we're all focused, and get cracking with this, and we'll have a bit of a time lapse. Here we are, and I'm starting with the background, and I'm just checking, yes, my microphone is working. I have just recorded 7 minutes of audio without actually recording anything. So I was literally just in my office talking to myself, which is a weird thing that we do as YouTubers anyway, talk to ourselves. But I've talked to myself for years anyway. You know the old saying, first sign of madness. Well, I've been mad for a very, very long time. I just make out I'm talking to the cat. Anyway, right, so yes, I said that this painting was very good for tonal value, and I'm starting by blocking the background, and I know the background is not as dark as it needs to be, but I'm just laying in some base colours first of all. And this gives me a really good ground to say, okay, well, these are the colours and the values that I want, but I'm going to push this even more, and I'm going to make the darks darker, and I'm going to make the lights lighter, and you'll see as we work through just how that works. These paintings are so much fun, and they are so quick to do. So as I'm editing this, the only bits I'm actually editing out are the sections where I'm mixing colours on the side. And that's because I don't want you just staring at the picture while nothing's happening. So the picture in total took just under 40 minutes to do, which is nothing. You know, that is a tiny, tiny amount. For reference, I've been painting a 16 by 20 inch canvas of a lion, which is to go up in the store, and that took me about 6 hours. So just shows actually size does matter. Size matters, especially when you are painting and you want to kind of learn something nice and quickly. I recommend going small and picking a specific thing to study. So this painting is about value. Right, okay, so I'm going in with all of these base colours very lightly and just getting them in, and then it means that I can build on top of these later, and you can see that it's starting to come together now. I'm starting to see the picture there. One thing I will say, working on such a small scale means that you really see the grain of the canvas, and it really collects the paint in areas. You can see particularly on the background, you know, you can really see that canvas weave. So I recently, whilst I was out art shopping, bought myself a pack of art boards, which are more like watercolour. They're much smoother paper. They will take most art supplies, so watercolour, gouache, acrylic, oil. So I'm going to attempt cutting a section out to be about the size of one of these canvases, and trying a master study on one of those, just to see if that makes a difference with the amount of detail that I'm able to capture. So you'll see here we're still blocking in values, and you can see we're getting smaller on the details, and we're starting to pick out darker values and lighter values. But when it gets to the really fine details like the eyes and the lips, it is so difficult to get those details in. So I'm hoping that with something where there's much less texture, you'll be able to actually see those details and put those details in much clearer. That's the intention anyway. If that's something you want to see and kind of come along on that journey, let me know, and maybe I'll do a video where we have a little bit of a comparison, and we'll compare the same picture, one done on artboard, one done on one of these canvases, just to see what they're like. But you can see now it's really starting to come together. I'm starting to differentiate between the tones in the face and the tones in the clothing, and with the wrap around the head as well. I'm really having fun with this. Really need to define the edge of that face as well. So I'm going to come in with the black and sort that out afterwards. Love these lips. But, problem. The camera battery ran out. But it's fine. Quick change and we're back. Actually gave the canvas a little bit of time to dry as well. There's like one section here, I think when I come in and do a bit more of the background, that I hit it with a hairdryer, but again, I've edited that out because you don't want to be seeing that. You don't want to watch me hair drying a tiny canvas. The hairdryer takes up the whole screen. But yes, time for more details and pushing those face shapes and the values in the face. So, I suppose I should talk about the subscriber count. As I said, we're 33 members away from 1,000. We do have that giveaway as well. So I will leave a link in the description down below for that video. So definitely go and check it out. If you want to win those supplies, leave a comment on that video. Tell me which supply you would most like to try. So we're coming into the background again, and you can see now as the background starts to get darker, the values in the figure start to shift slightly and it looks much too light. So once we have sorted out the values in the background, I'm going to start really pushing the values in the figure as well. This is something I really love about painting. It's kind of a push and pull all the way through. Some people see it as a bit of a battle. I see it as more of an adventure, and you're pushing and pulling things and making them work, and then suddenly you've done something and the whole thing looks weird, so you have to go back and change things and mix and play with things. It's one of the most fun parts about painting, about art in general. So now I've got a darker background, I can come in and define the edge of the face a little bit more, think about the highlights and the shadows in the face and the edge of the clothing as well. So from here on out, it's really just detailing. It's going in and detailing, pushing and pulling. And the one thing I'm going to put in right at the very end is, of course, the pearl. So here we go. Blocking in the darkest value first. I think this is where I might have hit it with a hairdryer as well. And I'm just going to leave you to enjoy these last few moments as the girl with the pearl earring comes to completion. And we are done. So I'll try and show you this. Hopefully it will zoom in, but I'll leave some pictures at the end as well. There you go. Girl with the pearl earring in the palm of my hand, literally. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. I haven't done one of these for ages, and it was really fun to get back into it. But leave a comment down below. Tell me what miniature masterpiece you think I should paint next. Of course, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that. Leave a comment on the competition announcement video for your chance to win those lovely Stabilo prizes. Oh, we're nearly there, guys. Nearly there. Anyway, as always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.